For this evening, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Starkey from Dallas.
Aren't you going to read something? Oh, okay. I feel like they were living you out. My name's Starkey, and I'm an alcoholic. I was kind of scared whether he's going to blow up on me. I'm a little loud sometimes. But I'm one of those people that are highly flammable. So, I'm going to tell you, and I'm really glad to be here again. Locke, thanks for inviting me, and the people for being so kind to us all, and for flying us out here from Dallas. It's really, really good to be here, even though I haven't seen the sunshine since I've been here. I do want to do a warranty disclaimer at first. If any of you are offended by profanity, you can leave now, and I'll wait. This is all you get. I do not misrepresent myself. So I'm going to tell you right now, you may need to call your sponsor when you leave here. I am going to share what happened, what it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like today. Because by all rights, I should not be here. I was born and raised in Dallas. Really. I just don't know any better, okay? I've been there since a child and just haven't never left. Oh, that's one time, but it was during a blackout, so I'll get to that later. Anyway, I was born in Dallas, and my first memory of childhood was about, I've got to turn this light off. It's just pestering the hell out of me. I'm highly agitated easily also, so I take medicine for that. Anyway, that's another one of those things we'll get to later. Anyway, my first memory was probably when I was in about the 4th grade. I can remember as a small child, I had a lot of social problems. One thing is that my brother was older 15 months older than I, so we were just 1 grade apart. And he was a hero child. He played football. He was this. He was that. He was everything I wasn't. And he was a boy, and damn, I wasn't that either. But you couldn't have told me that. And I was raised like a boy, and I didn't have any problem with that whatsoever. But my first memory was being antagonized by kids for being fat. I was a fat little kid, and one thing that it did, and everything I know about myself today, I only know in hindsight. After taking a good hard look at myself through the steps and through the program and through the people that were kind and loving enough to sit and help me cry through my life and deal with it, and this is all I got to work with. So I had to make the best of it. And when kids called me fat names, what I found out is that it wounded me deeply. And it hurt my feelings so bad. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let you know it. And so I went on the attack, and I became very much a bully. And I never told anybody that hurt my feelings until I was 8 years sober. So I carried that quite a while. And what it did is it put me on a slow burn for a rage that took me places I didn't want to go. And what happened is, as a child, I learned that if you knock the shit out of somebody, they'll back up off you. That worked for me very well for a long time. I was the person that you wanted to be your friend. I wanted to be loved so bad, but I couldn't ask. I could not ask. I couldn't ask my parents. And I didn't get it from them. I couldn't ask. I didn't know that's what I needed. I didn't know that's what I wanted. Like I say, everything I know about myself, I've only learned since I've been sober. And so I never fit in my skin. I never fit in my skin. And I was I was unhappy, and I was of the thing, well, if I'm unhappy, I bet I can make you unhappy, and at least I'll feel better. And so that's what I chose to do for many years. I got through, my thing was, and also I want to tell you, you know, and I didn't pick on girls, okay? I like the girls. I beat up the boys. I beat up the boys. And I could chase them, and I was a fat little kid, but I would hide and seek them out and hunt them down. And a few times, I remember they would pick me up by the back of my shirt, the back of my pants, and carry me off like this out of gym class. And then when I was in the 6th grade, I'd push the kid off the top of the slide. And my teacher made me dance with him at our 6th grade graduation. And I remember I had him by the neck like this, and I was dancing, and we were doing a polka or something. I don't remember what it was. I mean, this was in the 60s, okay? And so it was just a hoot. And anyway, I have so many stories. I have to be sure not get hung up on so many parts of my life. I'm going to tell you something. I have lived the fullest that I could. I have packed in all the living that I could possibly pack in the years that I've been here. So I'm going to kind of have to jump around here, make this straight to the point. I got through high school, and first year out of high school, I got a DWI. And let me back up just a minute because this has a lot to do with my story. Since I was so fat in the 12th grade, I was probably 6th grade, I was 12 years old. About the 6th grade, I would just come home from school and I would just cry. I said, "Oh, Mom, I'm so fat. I'm just so sad. What am I going to do?" She took me to our family doctor to find out. You know, the big deal back then was, "Oh, you must have a bad thyroid." And who knows what a damn thyroid is anyway? But anyway, so they took me to the doctor, our family doctor, and they gave me some Bipharamine T20s, which was old black and red black mollies, pharmaceuticals. Woo-wee! I could run faster and jump higher. I'm going to tell you what, I tore it up. I never did lose any weight, but I sure was glad to be back. Real happy. They made me real happy. And so anyway, I was the most happiest, miserablest kid you ever saw. And by the time I got to the 8th grade, I had found some people that had already dropped out of high school, and they were looking for a fat person to send to the speed doctor. And so you can put 2 and 2 together. That's how I got into dealing drugs in the 8th grade. They would take me to the doctor. They would pay for it. They would give me half the pills, and we would do this. And I would go to 3 or 4 speed doctors a week for these people, you know, and they would take half because they were paying for it. They would give me half just for going. And this started a very industrious little business for me. I used to deal drugs in junior high school out of a Peanuts lunchbox. Swear to God. And it would just rattle on the way home, full of lunch money and change and people's milk money. And got my... And also, I used to have to, I kind of traded back and forth between dealing drugs after school and fighting because, you know, when you come to junior high school, you get 2 or 3 elementary schools and they all come together. And I was the baddest one at my school, and Claudette Corn was the baddest one at her school. At Frederick Florence, and we got in cahoots, and we used to fight and roll around under the bus every day after school. Well, usually it was 3 times a week we had to fight because I had things to do. I had a business to run. And so I had things to do and couldn't fight her every day. But a couple days a week we put on a big show out by the bus stop. And it was a lot of fun. We just, and you know, I would love to meet her today just to see what the hell she's doing, because she was a big one back then. I don't know what she looks like now. But anyway, I really probably would need to owe her an apology or something. Anyway, I went ahead, and you know, I was one of those kids that you don't want your kids to play with. And went on, got through school, I was just, rolled my sleeves up in my shirt and smoked cigarettes and did all that, and, was just bad news. I ran around with all the hoodlums, and it was fun, and I had a good time, and I had some bad times, but you know, that's why you drink. I started drinking when I was 12, I was a blackout drunk. The first time I took a drink, I laid in the bar ditch, woke up the next day in the bathtub covered in puke, never drank any Seagram's V.O. again. That stuff will make you puke. So, I thought, well, but that's bad, that was bad stuff. So, never drank any of that again. But I continued to drink in a blackout drunk because I remembered, you know what, something about that was fun. I just don't remember which part. So I continued to chase that one for a while. Got my first DWI in 1970 and got several more for many years to come. I was a person that could not and would not shut up. Ma'am, would you step out of the car? Make me. We can. So anyway, and I was one of those people that people say, oh, please don't start no shit tonight. Please don't start it. I didn't start it. They were looking at me. What do you know? Am I supposed to let them look at me? You know, because I'm going, jump up on the table. Are you looking at me? You want some of this? Come on, get it. Oh, my God. Please don't start that. It's like, I didn't start it. I did not start it. They were looking at me. So anyway, in 1972, I started playing women's professional football. I played offensive and defensive tackle for the Dallas Bluebonnets, and they flew us around the United States, played full pads, NFL rules for 4 years. They flew us around, and we were drunk. God damn, we were drunk. I don't remember some of the games, but I know we had fun because they told me we did. I thought I was going to be a professional athlete, all right? And you know, the girls like professional athletes. Shit, that was something else. You know, we had a little groupie and all that kind of stuff. That was 20 years old. I mean, shit, come on. And so I thought I had it going on, and just got worse and worse, and I drank a lot. Well, I drank all the time, but I only drank when I was with somebody or by myself. So that put out everything in between that. And in about 1976, I was real strung out. You know, I did a lot of speed. Drank a lot, and in about 1976, I had about all I could. I was an empty shell, and I was hurt. Football league started. I was depressed. I was bummed out. And one of my friends said that we should, try to square up. And I thought, well, yeah, that's it. Okay, well, whatever you think. Didn't you do something? And so we tried to sober up a little bit, and she decided we was going to go to her grandpa's church. And her grandpa had a Pentecostal church. They got a couple dykes roll in there, and I used to dip snuff, and I carried a pistol in the back of my pants, and and all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden I show up at a Pentecostal church. It went downhill from there. And the one thing that I did hear is God loves you, and you're going to hell. Well, that wasn't a real hard decision to make. They say you're going to hell and God loves you, you can party your ass off and you're going to hell. Oh, let's see, go to church, go to hell, go to... Well, I think, let's party! And I said, we'll tell you this, I did try as hard as I possibly could to be good. Not to be that good. I mean, really? Come on. You know what they expect out of you? It's really unrealistic. It's really inhuman. Absolutely. It is inhuman. It's like you can't lie, you can't cheat, you can't dip snuff, you can't chase girls. Oh, you can't cut your hair, you can't do this, you think. It's like, wow. What can we do? You can come back there. I don't think so. I'm desperate. I'm not this desperate. So anyway, I tried to go to church, and my gosh, that was just not worth it. And so I went, and then, after I did that, I went and, blah, 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 I can't remember what I did, and then somehow somehow I ended up living out in Midlothian, which is about 30 miles south of Dallas, and I worked at this steel mill, and that was all good and fine. And then all of a sudden, my entrepreneurial skills took over, and I started dealing drugs again. And that's such a lucrative business when you do it, and you do it, but then don't cost you near as much. And so I was back to doing drugs again and drink, and I had all the girls, and I had a new house, and I had a new truck, and I had a new boat, and I had everything except a soul, it seemed like. And I walked away from all that after a few years. I was in such despair that it made me drink more, and still, though, I only drank when I was with somebody or by myself. So, I still wasn't that bad. And, but I did drink in the morning. That was my favorite. There was nothing I liked more than to brush my teeth and chug some beer. Because something just about the, Yes! So, and I was still continued to get DWIs and was getting one on top of another. And then I was on probation for one. And then there was a period of time there that I had my license suspended and got caught with another DWI, driving with a suspended license on top of a DWI and being on probation. Anyways, needless to say, I went to the joint in '85 for the first time. And, I've been telling everybody how tough and bad and slick and hip and cool I was anyway, and I'll show you, I got a number to prove it. Because if you're tough enough, they'll eventually send you to the damn prison. And I'm that tough. So, if you're missing anybody, any of your friends you haven't seen in a couple years, that's where they are. Saw people there I hadn't seen in years. Like, hey, where you been? I hadn't seen you since football. Checks. Yeah, I've been down here 2 years. Getting out next year. I'm not coming back either. That's the famous last words. I'm not coming back again. They'll have to shoot me in the back. I'm not going through this. And so, we all said that the next time, too. So now I was that bad son of a bitch I've been telling you about. And I had the number to prove it. And they told me when I got out on parole, they only kept me for, I was locked up for like 8 months and on a 2-year sentence. And when I got out, they said, now, because all these alcohol-related crimes you have, you're going to have to take Antabuse. And I said, well, I don't know what that is, but I don't think I can take that. Can you feel it? If you can get a buzz, I might try it. They said, no, what it does is that you'll have an allergic reaction, and when you drink, you'll be sick. And I said, well, I would be stupid to take that. And they said, well, it's a stipulation of your parole. And I said, well, lock me up. I'm not going to quit drinking. That's not an option for me. And I don't think that you can make me do that. I think it's my constitutional right to be able to drink. Don't you? So we had a hoo-hoo about that for several months, and by the time they finally decided to do anything, I was off parole. Ha-ha. If you can tie up the legal system any way you can get by with whatever you need to. I guess y'all already know that. So anyway, I didn't have to take no Antabuse, and I sure am glad. But while I was on parole, this little old gal I was with decided she'd had enough. She was going to quit. She couldn't take no more. She said she wasn't going down the tubes with me. I didn't know I was going down the tubes. She didn't know about me, but she was going home to Mama in El Paso. And I said, well, let me get my stuff. She said, you're not going. Oh, yes, I am. And a few weeks later, I woke up in a blackout with all my tools in El Paso, Texas, and no hable español. So, like a good alcoholic, I just got me a job. And right across from the beer store, Meister Brown was $1.99 a case. But it's too good to be true. It will give you the shits. Do not drink Meister Brown. I repeat, do not drink Meister Brown. Not one case at a city. never been around anybody that did cocaine. In Texas, that don't last long enough. So I was always did speed blast, and that's what I always dealt. And so this guy was a cokehead, and so I really didn't get it. You know, I really didn't understand. You know, well, you have to do so much, and it costs so much. I said, you want to do some drugs? Let me run to Dallas and get us some. So I just take a 12-hour trip to Dallas and run to get us some. And we come back, and we're up for 2 weeks, you know, and it's like, whoa! Can you get some more of that? Here I go again. You know, I have this entrepreneurial experience that I cannot seem to contain. So here I am doing drugs again. Oh, my God, how does this keep happening? So now I'm going back and forth every week or so, bringing quantities of meth to El Paso. And I got busted in Monahans, Texas. Has anybody ever been to Monahans, Texas? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look, sand dunes and assholes. Diggity Dog, I swear. Diggity Dog was born in Monahans. I swear he was. What you got there, little lady? That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. But I was going to tell you sometime it's a hoot. It is a hoot. Anyway, got busted with a half a pound. Rock. Rock, and looked at me. And they chopped it up and gave it to all their snitches so they would be sure and tell everybody. And I said, man, that was my stick out here. And I had to put up a little antique truck. I had a 53 Crosley pickup. They made 600 of them. And I had one that my daddy had given me. My daddy. My parents are very enabling. Every time I've ever been in trouble in jail and everything, they have almost loved me to death. Literally, to death. So anyway, my daddy had given me this truck, and I had to put it up. And this guy jumped on, my bond was $20,000 cash, and he jumped on my truck. Yeah, I bet he did. Anyway, I had these friends that got some of my dope that I got busted with, and they said, oh, sure, hell, we'll go get it. No, we're down there, we'll go get it. And so they did. And brought it back and got me out of jail. And so then by the time I said, you know, I got to get out of here. There ain't nothing here to live for. So I had to go back to Dallas. But I got to get closer to my enablers. So I drove back. I moved back to Dallas. You know, I had to let that girl go. My life was getting too intense. So I spent a couple years out. And I was on a $50,000 cash bond when I got back to Dallas, and my folks had paid this. They had put all this money up. I got me a big, expensive drug attorney. It cost me $12,000 cash up front. Plus every time I was having to fly him down to Monahans, and we'd gone down there 3 or 4 times. And then one day, just out of the blue in '89, this was in '87 when I got busted. In '89, he comes up and all of a sudden they went off my bond. Nobody knew me. My bond people didn't know me. My lawyer wouldn't take no calls, and I'm sitting in Dallas County Jail, and nobody takes. Well, this story, I didn't make a correct call because, you know, you can't dial out from jail. And so I'm trying to make a correct call. Nobody knows who Starkey is. That's all. We don't know who that is. And they must have spent all the money, so, you know, we don't know who she is now. And anyway, I went back to Monahans and ended up getting 20 years. So I go back to prison. I'm starting to get a little bummed out now. Went back to prison, and all my old friends are still there. They've been back 2 or 3 times since. And this time they put me in diagnostics, and they had this psychological evaluation that they put you through. And you know, at this point I was rather bummed out, and I didn't really feel like I had anything left to lose. And so I told them the truth when they were asking me all these questions. You know, like, when did you start drinking? Who'd you drink with? How long did you drink? What time did you start in the morning? Where'd you go? I just said, yes, no, 10, 5, yeah, month, yes, here. Okay. So I just answered truthfully, and a few days later they came back and they told me that they thought I had a drug and alcohol problem. I was insulted. You don't even know me. And, you know, and drugs and alcohol is not my problem, it's the law. The police is my problem. Richards was our dear governor in Texas at the time, and she insisted that if we had drug and alcohol-related crimes, we were to go to AA before we were able to go for parole. So here I go. I get my little AA pass, and oh, please. I am so miserable. I can't stand me. I can't stand you. I can't stand the law. I can't stand the air. I can't stand to sit, to stand, to walk, to lay. I am so full of hate and rage and envy and disappointment and tragedy. And I am so a ball of anger inside that I am just about to bust. And I walk into AA, and there are these girls that meet you at the door and say, "Hey, Starkey, glad you're here! Oh, come on down here and sit in the front with us." Get away from me. Get away from me! And they are there every day, day after day after day. And they are so damn happy I want to kill them. Every day. "Oh, Starkey, glad you're back. Come on down here and sit with us. Get away from me." One day while I was counting the dead flies in the windowsill, that's what I did during the meeting. It was then with the ceiling tiles, you know. So one day during a dead fly count, I decided that I was going to ask the leader of them all why she was so damn happy. And so I cornered her and I said, "I want to know something." "What?" "I want to know how in the world you can come in here and smile every damn day. Don't you know where we are?" And this is let me tell you something. This is the gut-wrenching part. I had everything. I had a family. They paid me like a bill. I had money on my bills. I got mail. I had new Free World tennis shoes. I had a watch that worked. I had a cross, a gold cross, and a chain. That is something in prison. You hear me? I got magazines in the mail. You couldn't get any more than I had in prison. And I couldn't stand myself. This girl had nothing. Nothing. And she was so damn happy I wanted to kill her. I didn't get it. I don't get it. You know? What is missing here? I don't get it. I brought everything with me. I tried to bring my worldly things with me when I went to prison. And she ain't got nothing. She don't have a family. She's a 5-time loser, raised in a heroin house, 30 years old and been in prison 5 times. And she's so damn happy I want to choke her every day. She has to mail her mail through the chaplain. Ain't got a dime on her books. Can't even go to the commissary. Has to use state soap to shampoo her hair. Man, I got everything the commissary has. I pay people to clean myself. And I am miserable. So it's a little obvious to me I'm missing something here. Anyway, I go to this girl and I ask her, I want to know really how can you be so happy? She goes, "Well, you don't want to reach down her throat and rip her heart out. I'm working a program." And I thought, well, I didn't get one. I had been extremely busy counting flies and ceiling tiles, and I hadn't had time to listen, you know. And she said, "Well, I'm working a program." And I thought, well, I didn't get one. Well, you know, it's a program let me get at the ball game for $3. And she said, "Starkey, I'm going to tell you." She said, "You know, here's the steps on the wall," and I walked them, and when I was through, I was happy. Shit, let me do it. Look, didn't believe, blah, blah, blah. It was 12 steps. Shit, 7, 10 days, I'll knock that out, and I'm going to be happy. Woo, all right. I got to have some relief. You hear me? I got to have some relief. I am one miserable girl. the desperation that is inside me. And you know, I can make it sound funny because now it's a hoot. But when I was there, I was so unhappy. I was so empty inside. I mean, it was like cobwebs blowing through the hole in my soul. And I don't know, it's made me cry just to talk about it, you know. And I was so tired. I was so tired of feeling like a loser. I was so tired of looking at myself in the mirror and saying, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, why can't you grow up and be responsible? You know, why you gotta take the easy way out? You know, you weren't raised to be a chicken shit. Why you wanna act like that now? So, I looked at the first step and I said, y'all admitted y'all was powerless over alcohol, but y'all was likely to become unmanageable. See, I ain't like y'all. What the hell am I gonna do? This ain't gonna work for me. And then when I started reading and they got down to the third step, and it said, turn my life and my will over to the care. God, oh, no! What am I gonna do? This is a down. They want me to go to church again. Been there, done that, don't work. So, needless to say, I struggled quite intensively on the first step because I didn't know how I was going to get down as low as y'all. Isn't it a damn shame? Isn't it a shame? I was sitting in prison. Casey, come on. I ain't got a bed. I don't even have a bed. I ain't even got my own clothes. And I'm thinking, how am I ever going to get as bad as y'all? Oh! That's why people keep going back. See, they keep going back. I was sitting. My favorite pastime was to hog the TV because it pissed everybody off, okay? I was down to hogging the TV one day, one Sunday afternoon. This is the damn truth, too. That's what's so sad about it. I was down hogging the TV one day, and this girl was sitting down there, and, oh man, it was hot. It was September. We were in a concrete room about that big right there, and there must have been 40 of us in there, and the bitch is slapping dominoes. And it's like, you know, that shit gets on your nerves after a while, and you start kind of bunching up and get your stomach tight, and you think, oh, if somebody slaps one more domino, they score one more point. I'm going to go back there and hurt somebody. And the Cowboys, I am the big Cowboy fan, was having a 1-15 losing season, so I'm irked anyway, and blah, 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 and all that kind of shit. And you know what? Here comes on an ice-cold beer commercial. Can they make beer look good on TV or what? The way that it just starts to roll down the side of an icy mug. Oh my God! Okay, that's where I am. And this girl next to me says, Starkey, what's up? It's like, man, doesn't that beer look good? She said, that's what got me here. Well, ain't you something? That statement changed my life. I ain't been the same since. That's what got me here. That's what got me here. That girl wasn't even an alcoholic and killed 2 people driving up the street. Come over a hill, they're on the side of the road, she kills 2 people. I've had 7 DWIs, been arrested 17 times for public intoxications, this and that, lost my license 5 times for drug and alcohol related business. And all that says 6 assaults on the police officers. That's what got me here. That's what got me here. That's what got me here. That can't be. That's too easy. That's too simple. It can't be something like that. Drugs and alcohol did not get. The police got me into prison, and you ain't gonna make me think any different. Well, Pauline. Anyway, here goes my mind, and I'm up and down the row and say, that's what got you here, it's drugs and alcohol, that's what it is. No, it isn't, this it is, no, it isn't. I'm talking, it's my head, okay? Now I start talking out loud to myself. Anyway, that was quite festive, so I ran in myself, and I thought, well, goddamn, if that's what it is, something's got to give. It can't be that easy. It can't be that damn easy. That drugs and alcohol is the reason I'm in prison again. That can't be it. But what if it is? What if it is? What if that's all it takes to keep you out? The next meeting I went back, and I sat with those happy bitches down at the front. And I said, my name is Starkey, and I'm an alcoholic. And I thought they were going to come apart. I'm telling you, I ain't been the same since. And I had just as much trouble working every other one after that. So what started out going to take me a week or 10 days ended up taking me a year to work the steps. I have to tell you, this is just so like me. The first time I was going to work step 2, you know, I am just a very literal person. And so when they would come to the part about came to believe that a power greater than yourself, I'm looking around, power greater myself. Let's see. Here, the cops have to gang up on me. I take 3 of them, 2 of you, but they're power greater than myself. I don't think so. And then this girl pulls me aside. I got this little old gal to be my sponsor because I felt like she had family values of the same kind I did. She was in prison with her mother and her grandma. Was that cool? Was that cool? You see, everybody in my family was in the penitentiary. My daddy did, everybody but my mother. So this girl, I knew I could relate to her because she had the same set of family values I had. So I went ahead and got her to be my sponsor, and she's telling me, she said, okay, Starkey, so I would tell her, I said, you know, this power better than myself. I said, you know, I control my own destiny. You know, I think all that bullshit we talk. And anyway, she said, well, let me tell you this. When you came to diagnostics, did you wear a dress? Yeah. Did you want to wear it? No. So I guess when you had it on, they took and they handcuffed you and kicked the shit out of your pistol, whipped your ass, and put it on you, right? No. So then they probably all ganged around you and they just ripped your clothes off and made you put it on. Is that how it happened? No. So they just handed it to you and you put it on, right? Yeah. That's a power greater than yourself, because you didn't want to wear it, did you? No. Well, things were looking a little bleak. Because I already read the 3rd step, and I knew it had the G word in it. So my solution for that was to go back to my ever-wise sponsor that was raised in the dope house in Houston. He was in with her mother and her grandma. It was so cool to see him go to lunch, you know. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not much of a family person, but I wanted my mama in prison. I wanted my mama! I wanted a dog. You know, if I just had a dog, I could have done many more years of time if I just had a dog. Anyway, so, all right, y'all hold it down. Y'all get a little unruly here. So anyway, I was going to have to work the G-step, and so I asked my sponsor there if she had any suggestions, and she informed me that she really didn't know anything about God when she came in. And she said, you know, at the dope house, we didn't watch much of Jimmy Swaggart, so I have no idea. She said, but what I will tell you is that I did do this step. And she said, here's what I did. It's pretty cool. So then came the hard part, is I had to try off of this list of list of things, I had to try to make some sort of conversation with this piece of paper and turn it somehow into something that I could turn my will of my life over to. Boy, does this sound squirrely or what? So, if you go, at times, I was kind of conniving when I was locked up, and so, you know, I had this good job, but I would fight with my boss all the time because I thought he was an asshole and he thought I was. And that, we never got past that. And so, I decided that I was going to quit, so I told him my feet hurt every day. And they could, you know, it's not that they did, but they can't make you work if you're hurt, okay? So I told them my feet hurt. And so then they decided that they were going to send me to vocation, but I already had a degree, okay? So they couldn't send me to any college classes, they couldn't send me here, because I already had a degree in industrial maintenance. So, they decided they were going to send me to, let's see what they call that, office admin, where you learn how to type and file. And so I went to there, and you have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, that is real early. You know, the sun is not even up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, oh hell, I lost my train of thought. Let me move on to something else. Anyway, because you know, I could stay in prison for a long time. My life changed in prison. Point blank, my life changed in prison. I learned to go to bed at night, get up in the morning, go to work. Go to bed at night, get up in the morning, go to work. What a concept. That works for me still today. You know, I even make my bed up sometimes. You know, you had to make your bed up in prison? Man, what a deal. So anyway, I spent 3 years doing that. I finally got ready to get out of prison, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've worked the steps. As a matter of fact, I had a little extra time, so I worked them again. Just started to get out of prison. I've been there for 3 years, and all of a sudden I am scared to death. And it's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do, period? What am I going to do? You know, I'm just getting out of prison. I hadn't been sober. I mean, I've been drinking, doing drugs, and all this for many years, and shit, what am I going to do? Well, you know, it's not like I don't have a career because I'm extremely cross-trained. I mean, I'm an electrician, I'm a mechanic, you know, I'm a fourth-generation mechanic, and blah, 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 and I can do anything I want to, but the fear had me gripped so bad I couldn't get past what am I going to do when I get out? And the only thing I heard is as soon as you get out, go to a meeting. Okay, as soon as you get out, go to a meeting. I can do that, you know, go to a meeting. This lady from Waco that went to AA there, that had been my sponsor, she had to quit being my sponsor because, you know, I was just really attracted to this woman, and she was married to this guy, and that was been messy, so I had to say, you know what, you're just too pretty to be my sponsor. I need for your husband, because he was a big old husky guy, and he was a mechanic, so I could relate to that. So he was my sponsor, and that worked real well for me, a whole lot more better than it did for her being my sponsor. Anyway, I got out, she came gave me a ride to Dallas, so I got out, and went to a meeting the first day, and I was real ashamed. I was going to tell you about the God thing. I did find a God. I found a God at 3 o'clock in the morning every day. I would sit down and it was like, hey God, did you check out that cash by J. Noble check? It's pretty cool. He's a good runner, isn't he? And I keep on running. I felt so stupid. I felt so small. I felt so insecure. I felt so inadequate. I felt all the less thans, all the littles, all the no goods. I felt all those little things that I never got to feel when I was a little kid because I had put up all those butch-ass macho walls, because you can't, if you don't know me, you can't hurt me. If you don't know me, you can't hurt me. But now it was all by myself, and I had to find out who I was. This had to work for me, or I'm gonna fucking die. This had to work for me. I can't take nobody else's opinion of this. This has got to work for me. Just me. I don't give a damn about nobody else. This has got to work for me. And I got to make sure it does. Because if it doesn't, let me just go ahead and blow my head. No, wait a minute, let me just go blow your head off. I don't want to do the hand to myself. You know, I hear about those people, I just wanted to kill myself. I want to kill you! I take medicine for that, too. Anyway, I got out of prison. I don't know when they let go. They let me out of prison, And I went to a meeting the very first day, and I was so ashamed, and I was so small, and I was so insecure, and I was so scared, and all I knew was to go to a meeting, and so I went to a meeting, and I thought, well, I gotta run in here, I gotta just throw my cards on the table, tell them who I am, where I've been, and blah, 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 because I just gotta let them know where I stand, you know, and because I had all this shame, you know, I know you've been to prison. Oh, God, you look like you've been to prison. What's wrong with you? You got those polyester clothes on, you know. It's true, they do dress you in polyester when you get out of prison. And so, anyway, so I go to prison, I go to this meeting, and I sit down, and I want to be the first one to share, you know. I say, yeah, my name's Starkey, and I'm an alcoholic, and I just spent 3 years in prison. Today's my first day out, and I just want to let y'all know that, thanks. And the lady next to me, she just looks at me, she goes, oh, God, Starkey, I so admire that. And I thought, oh, God. And she said, you know, I've been in prison in my own mind for 25 years. At least you got to go somewhere. And they sold all my toys. I had a 3-wheeler, a chopper, 3 Cadillacs, I had 7 cars and all that. I mean, I'm a drug dealer. I got all this shit. They sold all my toys while I was gone, okay? Everything. So when I get out, I got no ride, so I'm going to call them right quick and tell them, you know what? And they told me, look in the phone book, okay? Do you all hear this? Has anybody ever done this? I did it, okay? I'm going to tell you how it works. So I called the Central AALA office and said, hey, I just got out of prison. I'm proud of it now. They can't see me. I just got out of prison today. I need to go find a meeting tonight. Where do you live? God, I don't want to tell them. Oak Cliff. Okay, so they say, hey, here's a phone right the street, okay? So I called the Oak Cliff group, and it's about 5:30. They have a meeting at 6. It's about 5:30, and I call and I say, hey, I just got out of prison today, and I ain't right. Where's the address? I want them to know where I live. Tell them what kind of people are there. Well, I told them I live 2 blocks away and ran down the street to meet them. But I don't want these people to know where I live. Yeah. Don't tell them what kind of crazy people go to AA. So anyway, I went to AA, and I went to a straight group for the first 2 years of my sobriety. All I could do was get up in the morning, go to work, go to a meeting, go to bed at night. Get up in the morning. It was a pattern. I did it every day. I was real jealous and insecure and real envious. My brothers and my sister were still dealing drugs and still drinking and still doing all the hooting, hollering, and carousing around and all the things that I wished I could do, but the price was too high. And I was very adamant about being envious and jealous of that. My guts twirled some days. I thought, why can they do it? I'm through. I'm out. You can't make me deal no dope. Okay, I'm through. I'm out. That 20 years like to scared the hell out of me. I ain't going back. No, I'll just suffer. And I did for a while, believe that. I did for a while. And so anyway, as the years went on, I went back to my family-owned business and worked there for a while. And as the days turned into a year, all of a sudden I looked up and my brothers and sisters were all locked up. Oh, they all went to prison. I'm out. I love that. And you know, you can call me what you will, but if you was in the same position, you'd feel the same way, because you know what I'm telling you? I'm right. You can't do it and get away with it. No more. You can't. So it's like, woo! I'm starting to get happy now. I'm thinking, hey, I might have something going on here. I might be on the right track. So anyway, now I'm about, but you know, to tell you the truth, through all this that happens, you know, it's like, sometimes I'm just barely hanging on to my sobriety. It's like, I haven't changed my, you want to get that? Oh. I'm just messing with you, girl. So anyway, what was I going to say? I was just barely hanging on, and I really hadn't changed. I was just a sober asshole, you know? I was, and I still had all the anger. I still had all the fear. I still had those knotted up knuckles. I still had that, you know, that ball or stuff right here that's so hard you can't break through it. I still had all that. I I still hollered louder than I do today. But I wasn't happy about it. And that sort of caused me a few social problems. And this is not to be racist. I'm not a racist today, but I used to beat up Mexicans, men. And the reason being was that they spoke Spanish to me. And I had to go, I ended up stabbing a guy, 4 years sober, stabbed a guy. They tried to plea bargain with me for 35 to life. The guy said he was going to kick my ass. So, I had a job, I had to hire an attorney. Let me tell you, if you want to get close to God, be 4 years sober and be looking at 35 to life. You want to get close to God, all of a sudden all that God I did all that talking to on that piece of paper had to get real big, real quick. Okay? So, what the deal is I begged and begged and begged God, please don't send me back to prison. Whatever I'm supposed to learn, whatever you got to teach me. Teach me out here. Please don't send me back to prison. Please. I begged for 8 months. And then one day I woke up, and then mother was like, exactly, if you want to send me back to prison, let's go. I'm tired of begging you. Alright? My lawyer called it. I went to court the next day. And this is a whole other story. See, they don't give me enough time. I need 3 days. Anyway, I ended up going to court, and by the time it was all said and done, they told the guy that had accused me of stabbing him, that I stabbed, they told him the next time he wanted to whip a woman, he better find one he could whoop. And then he told me, young lady, your behavior is socially unacceptable. I didn't say that out loud. And they told me that they thought I needed some therapy. Let me tell you something. On my street, that's how you took care of business. I didn't know you couldn't stab people if you didn't like them. I swear to God, I didn't know that. Because you know what? That's the way we did business on our block. You don't have me to wear it on my face. I mean it. So anyway, catch this. Now I'm 4 years sober and they sent me to therapy. Court ordered. There's something wrong with this picture. Okay, now here's the real kicker. Now when I go to therapy, I have been treated so unjust. I am just sick of society. That's another reason they put me on medicine. But what I learned was that I was afraid. Oh my God! I was afraid. I was afraid of what you thought of me. I was afraid of how I would act. I was afraid you would hurt me again. Like those kids hurt me when I was 10 years old and they called me fat names. I thought you'd hurt me again. I was so afraid. I knew if I acted bad, you'd get up off me. And I had acted like that for 30-something years. Woo-wee! Don't you think that was some hard shit to swallow? I was afraid. Not me! I was afraid. I was so afraid. I was afraid of everything. So now you know you're afraid, what are you going to do about it? Here was my plan of action that I was to carry out. They're not Mexicans anymore, now they're Hispanics. My therapist told me all this, okay? When a Hispanic comes up to you and they start speaking Spanish, you have to say, uno momento. And walk away. You go get somebody to speak Spanish and ask them to find out what they want. Can you believe believe it's that easy? Who knew? I have whipped many a Mexican's ass over on Davis and Kings Highway in Dallas over that. Who knew? Oh no, momento. The most of which is I was afraid. But once I looked into that and saw what I was afraid of, and I was afraid my mother didn't love me, and I was afraid my daddy would hate me, and I was afraid these little bitty things that had happened to me as a child that I had externalized into everybody else, into the absolute society of the world. Because people called me fat, that meant you hated me. Because my mother was emotionally unavailable, that meant you didn't love me. Because my daddy was critical and belittling, well, that meant that I was a no-good, sorry son of a bitch. And because my brother scared me in the dark, meant I better jump first. And those were my issues. And I worked through them, and I'm going to tell you what. When it got for me to be about out of therapy, I was doing better. It took me 3 or 4 years to work through those things. It took me 3 or 4 years. I didn't go to therapy for a little while, just long enough to get the judge off my ass. And but I went ahead because you know what? That's why I drank. That's why I drank. That's why I did drugs. I thought you wouldn't like me. I thought you'd hurt me. I thought something was going to happen to me. That's why I drank. Damn, who knew? I knew somebody told me that shit a long time ago. Why do we have to find these things out ourselves? Can't somebody write it down and let us read it? I mean, really? Anyway. I need to wrap this up here, and I've still got several years to go. I'm going to make it short, though. I got okay, so now I'm starting to work on myself, and I'm starting to be a happy individual, and I'm just clipping along, and you know I got me a good sponsor, and I'm working on my stuff, and of course the girl leaves, and I'm a wreck. One more time, I'm back there, and so I have to fix all that, and had to find out who I was, that people loved me. I had to learn to ask for help. That's fun. I went through about 8 months of that, and I love queens. Queens are my very favorite. They're so non-threatening. I love you. I love you. I love you. I really do, because they were able to, and my sponsor is 6'5". He works for the state representative in the House of Representatives. He was the chief of staff, so he's all into this political shit, and I'm just this little moron on a parole till 2009. And I mean, it's really kind of funny how that works out. But he would hold me in his lap and just hug me. All the things I never got from my parents and never will get from them. He taught me how to trust him and trust people, and how to ask for help, and how to say thank you, and how to say, you know, you hurt my feelings when you said that to me. He's taught me all kinds of things, and how to be a better person. I'm still not too good on the cussing thing. I haven't been too bad today. I haven't said a whole lot. Okay, good. Yeah, and so, you know, I'm working on it, but I mean, God, how many things can you really quit at once? I mean, let's face it, I just quit smoking 9 months ago, okay? Don't give me no shit. So anyway, I do have to tell you this part, though. I started, all my brothers and my sisters, they all got out of penitentiary within like 8 months to a year's time, and they all came back. We all were going to work at this family business that my dad has had for years and years, and my head says, woohoo! We're going to have a big old AA meeting. It is going to be fun every day. We can stop and say, oh, let's have a moment of silence followed by the spirit prayer. I said, oh my God, I can barely wait to come to work every day. Woohoo! Woohoo! I'm thinking this. Oh, for real. And so I'm just so excited, and I'm so happy, and it's like, oh my God, we've never had this kind of relationship. It's going to be so fun. Oh my God, was I ever wrong. We hated each other's guts. I am not the oldest, but I'm the loudest, I'm the most obnoxious, I'm the loudest outspoken. I think I know the most, and I am the bossiest, okay? So I'm the boss. And I was there first. So, my brother gets out. My brother is the oldest man-child, you know, and the hero of the family, and I'm his boss. Well, that doesn't go over too good. We're all sober, and I thought it was like WWF wrestling every day. I hated his guts. I didn't want to come to work. I didn't want to do this. And my sponsor says, well, why don't you leave? No, I'm not leaving. This is my business. Why don't you think about it? No, I won't. So 2 years of misery every day, all day long. I was not trying to work the steps on this. You cannot work the steps with your family. You want to hear it again? You cannot work the steps with your family. Every day I would go and I'd say, obviously, well, I've been a little bit bossy. Maybe I'm overbearing and sometimes pushy and better. But I'd like to make amends. What can I do to change that? Yeah, did. What's the second choice? Needless to say, it didn't go well. So, after about 2 years of misery, I finally walked off, left it one day. I had it. I closed my toolbox, locked all my locks, just like Fort Knox. You know, I got a big toolbox. Locked all my hoods and walked off and have never looked back. I started my own business, and here's the kicker. If I had got what I wanted, what I thought I deserved, I'd be working 60 hours a week, making a third of what I make now. I work 10, 20 hours a week, make 4 times what I made there. I'm my own boss. I get along with me real good. I'll have no problem with me. I was so scared. I felt so bad. I was so little. All of a sudden, I was that little girl that wasn't good enough. You're running. You can't get along with your fatty. You're a loser. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up! I have the most loving home group. I go to Lambda in Dallas, and they are so kind and compassionate, and have helped me by my hand walk all the way through every problem that I've ever had. You know, I am not one to hold things inside. I know that's hard to believe. But I want you to know that there is so much hope in AA. AA has absolutely changed my life. I'm one of those people that you wanted to see behind bars. That you said, oh God, don't let me back out on the room. Steal and lie and cheat. And you know what? I don't do that today. I don't do that. You know what? I'm a good person today. And I can tell you I am because I really, really am. You know, I'm really kind and compassionate. I'm really funny. And I really have a light of hope inside of me that burns so hard. And I'd like to give it to everybody. And you know, today I go back to prison. Today I go back to jail. Almost all my sponsors are on parole, which is a good thing. But the thing is that, you know, I owe my life to Alcoholics Anonymous. It was the only person, it was the only people that would give me the time of day. Everybody else, lock her up. She ain't no good. You can't do nothing with her. Quit trying. Quit trying. But they said, now, you know what? Just see. I dare you. I dare you to try it. I dare you to try it. Oh? Does that always raise an eyebrow for us? Oh? Oh, you don't think I can? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So anyway, what I have to say, though, is that Alcoholics Anonymous has changed my life. I'm a good person today, and I like to be alive. I have fun. I have fun with everything I do, and I will spend the rest of my life paying back the debt I owe, because today I have my life back. Thanks.